Done?
Done. I'll be done.
There you go.
You're just being character the entire day.
What time on Sunday?
Hmm?
What time on Sunday?
By Sunday morning when I wake up, I will be sounding like Soul completely.
Ah.
So basically just hunt you down for the convention on Sunday.
Huh?
So basically just hunt you down all day
I'll
Sunday.
have panels, I'll have things to do. I have things to do on Sunday. Look at that, I have vendor room. That's probably autographs.
Yes.
Yeah, autograph.
Go for
Yeah,
it,
and
yeah.
then the voice actor farewell. They're gonna say goodbye to us for an entire hour.
Yes.
Bye. For 1 hour. It'll be great. We'll get to say speeches. What do you have anything in particular you wanted me to say as Soul?
Just anything. Just make it the best thing you possibly can ever.
Hi. Welcome. We're here early because we're punctual. You can shame Jeannie for being late. It'll be great.
It's not 3 o'clock yet.
Ah, but she's an actor. She'll show up late.
If she shows up at 3:01, then we can just like,
No, don't do that. It's her birthday. Don't do that.
it's her birthday.
We'll have to, as soon as she walks in, we have to start singing Happy Birthday in different keys. It'd be great. She did the dubstep version. Happy birthday. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Great. Great. Any cool plans for the weekend? Anything
I
you're
have a
looking
live
forward
going.
to?
I have a live that
You're-
I'm performing at.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
It's on my
Performance?
group. Yeah, it's a group performance.
Yeah. Any concerts, raves?
Race.
Anything in particular you're looking for in the dealer's hall?
Soul Eater merch.
Soul Eater merch?
Couldn't find it.
Which one?
I was looking for something in particular, but just couldn't find it.
What were you looking for?
A piece of Android 21 art, or
Oh,
any
nice.
merch of her.
Oh.
Where the hell?
Hey! Hey! This is why we
Where
have
the
these
hell did you get that? I'm
conversations.
serious.
in there?
Was it in Artist Alley?
Oh, yeah. No. It was
Vendor's
in
hall?
Middle of everything.
Oh.
I'm coming with you. You have to show me.
See, aren't you glad you
I'm
showed
coming
up?
with you.
I'm just happy to
I'm
be
gluing
like
myself
in the
to you.
presence of you.
It's not spectacular. You,
It is to me.
You
It
should
makes me
raise
feel
your
really happy.
expectations just a little bit.
It makes me really happy though.
Well, that's
Like-
good. I'm glad.
Like-
I'm glad.
Like your character, the character you voiced Soul Eater, and like just everything about Soul Eater made my life so much better from what it was when I was younger.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
So like
that.
it was mainly Soul who did it.
Thank you.
So
I got 99 souls, but a witch ain't one.
yes. Wait, I found out what I wanted.
Happy birthday. How old are you now?
Don't ask. Do not ask.
She's in her 40s.
I don't believe that.
No.
I know. Feel free to tell me how old you think I am, and then I'll
That's gonna be the
say-
game.
21.
So
there
there's
are many.
no.
I'll take it.
There are
My
many.
mom taught me that one.
There are many.
Let me check them.
Microphones you can choose.
So how far away
audience-
from you can I be?
Over
in the
there,
back.
you're saying.
In the back,
Yeah.
answer. Take one of the microphones.
I know we have that restraining order, but
Oh, no. Like,
Upsides from
they voted me here, so I'm stuck here.
Oh.
Jenny.
Oh, should I take a vote of where I should be?
Yeah.
Sure.
Where should I be?
I think you should be right.
So exactly where you
Sure. I'll be Hey.
Dana.
Hey. Is that a Hanukkah?
Yes.
I love. Are you kidding me? Of course, I love Love Live.
Love
You've
life.
seen? I know. Have you seen Sunshine?
I've seen spoilers and I didn't really like how the spoiler. I didn't like what they did in it.
What? But it's so pretty.
But I love the voice of the girl who does the voice of Rico.
Who was that?
Just someone, you know.
Is that the Japanese or is it the dub?
Dub.
Dub suck.
Dub's all the way.
I just realized this should be
Even before, I know, this is legit.
Oh wow.
This is something I don't do in the booth. Even if the microphone, even if for some reason like the engineer set the microphone that it was like all the way down here, I'm like, this is perfect.
Frequently, because I'm so short, the mic's here. I'm like,
Yeah.
good, you can hear my thoughts.
Or if it's a, You come to find out like your different stances when you're recording. If it's like a yelling or like a lot of action, like I'm standing up normal, so we'll set it here, but I go into like kind of a power stance, so it's like down here, so give it like a second and the engineer will be like, I'll be right in to change the microphone. Yeah, because I have to move it lower because I'll like kind of hunch a bit.
I look up when I yell for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I guess it's like just
Like,
think.
like a power?
Yeah.
I always think of my power coming from my core, which is like lower.
Mhm. So
That's singer instincts right there.
you squat.
Right?
Singer instincts.
Yeah, gotta get that diaphragmatic breathing.
Damn.
Is that an actor term?
I think it's more of a singer. So I don't come from any of this like from an actor's background. My degree is in opera, so I come from it as singers. Like I'm always thinking of like the apparatus.
Nice.
Like yeah, the placement of where I have the voice more so than. I mean, I also think of like the characterization and stuff, but yeah, I feel like I come from the opposite way.
Oh, I don't even come from any way.
Yeah?
Just like, what is this? I don't know. Throw me in the
Whichever
box.
sounds
Cool.
bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not much of an actor.
So, can we officially start?
Yeah, I was just doing a pre-panel thing.
Oh, a pre-panel thing.
Well, they let everyone in early, and I didn't want to just be like, I'm
Just
not going
walk
to
in the door.
interact with you
We're not
until
on yet.
3 o'clock.
No, we're not.
But yeah, so yeah, you wanna, here's an
Oh, is there, oh my goodness, is there a name tag?
What?
Guys, I'm Micah.
Got both. Oh my
And
goodness.
I am Micah Solusod.
And I'm Jeannie Tirado.
No, you're not. You're Micah Solusod.
All right, a Q&A with Micah and Micah.
There you go.
Perfect.
Welcome to the Micah and Micah Q&A. I'm Micah Solusod.
I'm Jeannie Tirado. Rebel.
See that?
Perfection.
No.
Yay! And they spelled it right.
I know, right?
Sometimes I get like Triado or
Mitcha Solusad.
Soul you said.
Makes me so you mad.
Sorry, man.
Well, should we introduce ourselves?
Yeah, let's start by introducing ourselves, say which characters you voice, and also your favorite Nicolas Cage movie.
Okay, I got one. All right.
Go first.
Okay, my name is Jeannie Tirado. Hi, if you don't already know who I am. I am a voice actor. I've done Android 21, Dragon Ball FighterZ, the video game, Baby Pan in the Super show, Koala in One Piece, Zira in Fairy Tale. Right now I'm Fauna in Black Clover, if you're watching that Tsunami. Yeah, she's evil. I like it. And then I'll think of like the ones going on right now. Tokyo Ghoul's Kanae.
Yeah.
And gosh, a bunch. I don't want to say like Google it, but I will say with this one, Layla in Code Geass, which I got to voice alongside you, and then also for Real Life, Chizuru.
We've done some shows together.
We've done some stuff
few.
together.
A
Thank
few.
you.
What's your favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
Oh, have you guys ever seen Family Man? No.
No.
Why does nobody?
One.
It's the best. Okay, other than Face Off. It is a really good. It's a Christmas movie, and it's basically it's so heartwarming. It's so good. He lives on his own. He doesn't like family or kids or anything, and then he wakes up as if he had married his high school sweetheart and has like a whole like wife, kids, a whole nother life. And he's like,
Oh my God,
these
that-
aren't my kids. It's
That-
really good.
I saw like 15 minutes of it. I didn't see the rest of it.
Hey, 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
I watch it
53% on Rotten
every
Tomatoes.
Oh.
That's
Every
not bad
year.
for a Nick Cage movie.
Yeah, I have like a list of my Halloween movies and then my Christmas movies, and it's on the Christmas movie playlist.
Every year?
Every year.
Every year?
Every year. Yep.
What
Okay.
do you know?
Beat that, sucker.
I can't. Hi, my name is Micah.
Woo woo.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, I didn't even have to force you to do that. I do voice acting in this place called Texas. It's really hot there. And you might know me from a show called Soul Eater. It wasn't very popular. No one actually liked it. Also did a show called Yuri on Ice, which also wasn't very popular. I voiced the Russian Yuri in that. Currently, I am Yuno in Black Clover. I also voiced Yuichiro in Seraph VM, Toma in a certain magical index, Midnight in Fairy Tail, Kobe in One Piece, currently voicing a brand new character in the Dragon Ball universe, in Dragon Ball Legends, the mysterious Saiyan in red. Things. Together, we were in Code Geass together. I played Akito in that. I played Arta in real life. Oh yeah, we were in Myriad Colors Phantom World.
Oh my goodness, we were,
I was
yeah.
Haruhiko Ichijo in that. And you had a singing power.
Oh god. They say it's singing. She
It's a
literally
note.
went,
It's one note. It's a power note.
It's a power note. It's like those power chords.
Exactly.
That's all you need.
And my favorite Nicolas Cage movie is National Treasure, which I frequently call National Treasurer, which is not the same movie.
Kick-Ass.
No,
No.
that's a different Nick Cage
A lot more
movie.
numbers.
A lot more numbers, desk job, less adventure.
Yeah.
Equal amount of yelling though.
Oh, well, of course.
What does it mean?
Kick ass.
Yeah. So yeah, we're here to hang out with you guys for the next hour, take some questions,
Yeah.
possibly answer them even, if you want. Yeah. Want to
Yeah,
start us
so
off?
what's the weirdest fan experience?
The weirdest fan experience?
Yeah. Like any of the convention you went to?
I can say one of the best experiences. It was weird because it wasn't expected, but then it was like
Weird in a
best
good
surprise.
way?
Yes.
Sure.
So because I voice Android 21, she turns people into sweets and eats the sweets and gets power from it. I had somebody, and have you ever had Sprinkles cupcakes?
Yeah.
They're not they're in like major cities, but not everywhere. They're pretty expensive, like they're gourmet cupcakes. Brought me a massive package of cupcakes just for me.
Oh, wow.
And I felt bad. I was like, I should share these.
Did you?
I ate all of them during my panel. Like, it was during my panel. And I'm just like, next question. Which one should I eat next? I'm gonna choose.
That is awesome. You should do one of those like live eating videos on YouTube.
I've heard that's a thing.
It is a thing. Yeah.
Does anybody here watch that stuff?
I like food.
Okay. That's true. I was doing Whole30 this month, and my roommate is Sarah Wiedenhaft. She's a voice actress as well, and I would literally ask her to eat and like slowly describe what you're eating to me. Yeah.
That must be torture.
Okay, what about you? I'm sure
Come
you've got
on
some
in.
weird ones.
I do have weird ones, and I don't know if I want to say it because the camera's there.
Don't worry about it.
I will say no, because that involves people and shaming people. Let's not do that. Hi, guys.
Welcome,
Have a
welcome.
seat. Nice to see you. Weirdest fan. I'll tell you the weirdest convention experience I've had. I went to Anime Expo, actually, to screen Akito, the dub for Akito at Anime Expo. And I got to meet my Seiyu counterpart. And that was the first time where I signed autographs while there were security, like people in black suits, shades, earpieces, and everything.
Man
It's
black.
standing in front of us while we were signing, like, I mean, like bald,
blocking
big
the
dudes
view.
like that. And if anyone got too close, they would take a step forward, like that, no words, no nothing, and make them back off. And it was
Were
insane.
you signing like alongside the same?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh my
It
god.
was for our protection.
Oh god.
Yeah, it was very strange, but kind of cool at the same time. The funniest part was that he had a bodyguard, big, like 6 foot tall, bald, buff dude.
Wow.
He was taking selfies with him, being like, and he's like, he's my height and everything, being like,
Oh my god.
taking selfies or whatever. And my wife was standing next to me, so he had this contrast of this really big, bald, buff dude and this tiny Asian girl.
Oh god.
She was definitely the stronger one now.
Nice.
Kick
She looks
anybody's
in,
ass. Exactly.
Yeah.
No words. No words. She didn't even have to step forward. Just give him a glare. Yeah. Pick somebody.
Yes, oh no, God.
I have a question. The question is, what is your favorite line you ever voiced? Like, what was like the favorite voice line you said?
Ever?
Like, you've ever said? Like, for like a show. Like, what was the favorite line?
Odd lines.
Yeah.
Well, think like one that's been like stuck in your head when it like caught your attention. Well,
What do you remember most?
yeah.
That's a problem. I don't
Okay,
remember a
this
lot.
is so random, and I don't know why it's stuck in my head. But one of the first things I ever voiced before I started at Funimation, I actually recorded. I was a character in a video game called Smite.
Hey, Smite.
Yeah. I voiced a Norwegian fire goddess called Sol, and she had this like cutesy kind of like European accent, and because she was fire, it was a lot of like fire puns, and I don't know why, it just always comes to mind, and she would go, kaboom! And that's it. I just think of the kaboom.
That's lit.
That's it. Yep.
That's fire.
It's lit.
Hey. Hey yo.
We got the jokes.
I made a pun.
What about you?
There are a lot. Currently, right now, as of this moment, let's just say it's from the show called, has anyone seen Space Dandy?
Yes.
Awesome. I play this character, this weird alien character. I keep thinking that's someone whining or crying. And I'm like, I just want to apologize every single time. I play this little tiny alien dude named Dr. B. And his voice is a lot like this. And there was an episode where they needed to locate Space Dandy, which was pretty much every episode, kind of Pinky in the Brain-esque. And in order to find them, he had to play some sick beats. They installed a locator that could only, it's this thing where you just start scratching some tracks and be like, Dr. Joe, I've located Space Dandy. Let's lay down some sick beats. And then this weird beat plays, and then the spaceship, which was like the Statue of Liberty's head with a ball gag, opens up and fires all these missiles, and then they find Space Dandy.
And it worked.
It sounded a lot, it made more sense in the show. It occurred to me every single direction I got from our directors during Space Dandy was, so, I don't know how to say this. You're looking, just watch it. But yeah, sick beats. As beat. Sick beats. Hey. Hey. Oh wait.
How many shows have you done where they've had to just say, just preview it? There's no.
A lot.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's anime too, because like, how do you explain anime?
But there are like special circumstances. Like I remember Pop Team Epic. Chris was just like, I got nothing.
Oh yeah.
Just.
Man, I said some weird stuff in that episode.
God. Have you guys seen Pop Team Epic?
If not, you can watch it on Toonami
It's
now.
on Toonami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Faux show.
That is the weirdest thing. I was like, wait, you're gonna air that on cable television?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's totally in now. It's got like that robot chicken feel.
It does. It's definitely, it fits the Adult Swim aesthetic.
Yes.
For sure.
Understandable.
It's weird enough.
Yeah. Beef or chicken.
Hey, you upset?
I'm not upset.
If you don't get these references, you need to watch the show.
You need to watch it. You have a question.
What are your favorite lines from Soul Eater?
My favorite line from Soul Eater? It's a lot of lines. Because I'm 10, it's the episode where they were in the graveyard and they were looking for Sid, the zombie, and Blackstar says to Soul, and he's like, "Hey Soul, you wanna pee on Sid's grave?" And Soul responds with, "Yeah, and while we're at it, why don't we take a dump on it too?" I'm an adult and pays taxes to the government.
Oh,
That was my favorite. What was yours?
Pretty much the same thing.
Same thing?
my
Thank
gosh.
you for making me feel less alone. Also, the bromance scene was pretty good. Anyway, pick somebody. There are hands.
Yes.
So, how would you rate those cupcakes? Scale of 1 to 100.
1 to 100.
I'm a sucker for red velvet and cream cheese.
Oh god, yes.
Yes. Can we all talk about food? I love that.
No, hey, I like food a lot.
Oh man. And it's so painful, like being in anime world, because they know how to animate food. food. Oh my goodness, I was in a show.
A restaurant to another world.
Oh, you were thinking that, yes! Oh!
Yep.
And the way they describe it too, our characters literally, like you have a thing and you're like, it's the best. And I'm like, well, you're not wrong.
Yep.
That is the reaction.
Yep.
Try sitting through Food Wars.
Food Wars is, well, the manga's really good.
But yes, the cupcakes were divine and amazing, and I could eat all of them.
Out of 100, 1 out of 100, like, or
100.
100?
Oh.
400?
Okay. Let me not say 100. Let me say like 98, just because sprinkles, because it is like I like funky flavors. So red velvet and cream cheese, it's pretty basic flavor. But if you can give me like a fluffer nutter cupcake with like something funky.
Durian.
Sorry, what?
Durian and bacon. That's funky, right?
I'll take it. I would try it. I would try anything, as crazy as it is. Is anybody else like that, or are you guys like, oh, I'm gonna go the safe route?
Yeah, okay, here's a question. And this came up in the studio once, I won't say who. But is red velvet a flavor?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's a different kind of chocolate. Like they add the food coloring to change the color of it, but it's like a richer.
But it's still chocolate cake, right? The only thing that makes red velvet is the color and the cream cheese topping, right?
No, isn't it like a richer chocolate? Like it's like a darker chocolate.
It's still chocolate, right?
Oh boy.
How did it go?
It tastes different.
Don't get me
It
started
does
on
taste-
food.
That's the thing. It tastes different. It doesn't taste like chocolate cake.
It's psychological, isn't it?
You are evil. You've played too many evil characters.
Not
That's rubbed
enough,
off.
not nearly enough.
Okay, do you like playing protagonist or antagonist better?
It depends on how they're written.
Okay.
Yeah. I like variation on characters. My favorite antagonists are the ones that are sympathetic, the ones that you can actually relate with.
Yeah, like you see where they're coming from.
The ones who have very good intentions but go about it very much the wrong way. Because they're lost.
Gotcha. Ooh, getting deep.
Isn't that what that means? I'm kidding. What BS. In the back. Zora, yeah.
Was there a character when you found out you were going to play them? Like, who was the most favorite character you wanted to voice that for? You got the chance to.
Oh, like a character that we were looking forward to possibly getting and we did get it?
Do it and you got to do it. Out of
Ah,
all the ones you've done.
there are a few that come to mind.
Yeah, I feel like immediately I would say Android 21, but I honestly, I had auditioned and it had been months later before I even found out about it, so it kind of
I
like.
hate those.
Yeah, and I got a message from Christopher Sabat saying, hey, would you like to, you audition for this character? And I had to go back through my emails and be like, who was that? Because it was months before I even auditioned. And as an actor, just for your own sanity, for me, when I audition, like, it's done. I put it in a separate folder in my emails and get it out of my head. So
Oh
that
yeah,
I'm
I
not
delete
dwelling
mine.
on it.
Yep.
You delete them?
Yeah, because it's like I don't want to know if I don't get it or whatever. I don't want to keep thinking and seeing that, being like, oh, that was something I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I just check out immediately.
Yeah, but then when you do get it, you're like,
What is this?
yeah. What was the voice that I did for the audition?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I was a huge Tokyo Ghoul fan. I remember watching it on, it was on Adult Swim,
It was on
right?
Toonami. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching it those first seasons. So when I heard they were gonna do RE, I was like, oh man, if I could even be like a person who screams and then gets slaughtered, yes. And then Mike was like, can you voice a trans German character who like has the voice almost of a male but does identify as a woman? I was just like, whatever you say, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Even if it's an accent that I can't do, I will say yes and I will learn that accent. So that was pretty awesome just to be able to be in Tokyo Ghoul.
She was crazy.
That's crazy as your character, my God.
My character, I just realized in this moment, yes, I'm in Tokyo Ghoul. I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, it's weird because like he wasn't like that in the first 2 seasons. He was this nice Boy Scout character who was like, "I'll do anything, yes sir, except go out to battle because I do paperwork." He had a great drunk scene in season 2. But yeah, his character definitely changes in Reed.
Did you, when you saw that change, were you like, yes? Or were you
Oh, the thing is, I knew about it in season 2.
Oh, you did?
And Mike didn't know about that. So we're recording the last episode, and I'm like, he's like, "You hear about your character?" I'm like, "Yeah, he turned into a ghoul." And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Is that, I looked it up, should I have not, is this, oh no." And he's like, "I meant at the end of the episode, your character survives the attack and he's on a stretcher."
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. And then we're like, cool.
Wow.
Well, now you know. Spoilers.
The more you know.
Yeah. So I've been looking forward to this for a while. I brought pineapple into work just to do the announcement. Too many people like that.
Well, what about you? What was the role that you like wanted to get? Got the thing.
Has anyone seen Noragami?
Yeah.
That show was like I had intended. I got the call to do the audition, and I had intended to watch 1 episode for research. And then I was at episode 12 by the end of the day, and I was thinking, man, if I don't end up in Noragami, I'm probably going to cry. But I remember thinking specifically, if I feel bad for anyone who ends up playing Yukine.
Wow.
Joke's on me.
Uh-huh.
That was a lot of screaming. Also, I didn't expect Akito,
Yeah.
but I was like, man, because I figured by the time that Funimation announced it, they'd already dubbed it, went to like LA or whatever. And then
Did you watch the original Kokias?
Some of it, when it was on Toonami, just whenever it was around, and it looked really cool, so being a part of that was really awesome. Yeah. Akito, Yukine, those 2 were
Yeah.
probably the big ones.
Kokias, because I did watch it on Tsunami.
Did you have to audition? Or did they just cast?
No, I did audition because it was a character with a French accent. They wanted, so I actually gave 2 takes. One with like a very strong French accent. I took French in college, so I like felt confident enough to try it. But then they asked for one. They didn't want it to be like, "Bonjour, I am very French." They didn't want that, so they asked me exactly. So they had me do one with a strong French accent and then one with a very subtle French accent. And actually, when I went in, my strong French accent isn't that anyways because I took it in college and like I don't know all the words, but I can fake the accent. So they actually had me go with the stronger French accent.
That's more natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did audition for the accent.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Guess you didn't have to do an accent. So happy.
Yes.
Since we're on the topic of accents, I have a question for Mika and a question for Jeannie. For Mika, was it tough doing a Russian accent for Yuri on Ice?
As you can see, I am not Russian. I still don't understand why I play Russians. I am Japanese. But yeah, it was yes and no. It was a little easier because I had just come off of a project where I needed a Russian accent. Has anyone seen the movie The Empire of Corpses? If you haven't seen it, it's by the studio that did Attack on Titan, and it's like Victorian steampunk and zombies with literary characters. John Watson plays the main character, or is the main character. It's really cool. But I played a Russian in that, and we had a dialect coach and people helping us out with the accent. So learning it from there, and then hiring that same dialect coach for Yuri on Ice.
Did Funny set that up, or did you?
I did. I set that up.
Wow.
For the movie, Mike called in experts
Okay.
to help with the accents, and since I already trusted their work on that, I called Lauren Kahn to help me with Yuri on Ice, and yeah, it was difficult because I'm originally from Hawaii, so I was born with an accent already. Like I grew up having a dialect of Hawaiian. And I had to learn how to sort of get that out of my system when I became a voice actor. So doing other accent work, it feels like a filter of like, all right, so this is how I am from Hawaiian to English, Midwestern English, and then from English to whatever the heck I'm trying to do now. So there's that challenge, but having someone who knows better is always helpful in my case. Yes, sir. How do you approach accent work?
I love accent work. That's one thing Funimation is really good because they give you the freedom. A lot of other, like if you see a lot of like dubbing companies out in LA, because they work so closely with the client, they don't have exactly the freedom I feel like that Funimation has, where they'll be like, yeah, let's go, since it's this era, let's do these accents. They kind of play it more safe, I feel like. But for Funimation, a lot of the titles, we're able to like, yeah, let's go for it.
It's up to the director usually.
Exactly. Yeah. And anytime I get a chance to do that, that's like crack for me. I'm like, yes, let me do the research, especially an accent that I would never have, like an accent that I would never know. I did like I think it was the same like studio that did Empire Records, because they had the three. There was Genocidal.
The Project Ito films.
Yeah, Project Ito films. I was in Genocidal Oregon, and in that I was Czechoslovakian.
I remember that.
Right?
That's right, yeah.
And that was one of those, give me a day, and I'll come back to you. Let's see if I can try this. And it's
Day?
yeah.
Oh man, no. I had
If I can watch there is an art to it, I feel like, because you have to be able to, like when I watch a video, I'll look up videos of natives speaking the language. I'll look at tongue placement. Again, I come from it from a singer's point of view. So I'll look at like where they're placing their tongue, where they're placing their vowels, if it's more in the front of the mouth or more in the back of the mouth.
Where does it resonate?
Exactly. And if I can find certain choice words that can pop me into the accent, then I'll use that as much as I can. I think of, like, for example, for German, I'm definitely thinking more cha, just the syllable of ch, more in front of the mouth. So if I can get like a placement or something, you just have to find something to grab onto.
Yep.
That can kind of propel you into that. Yeah, and for French, I watched a lot of, if you know Jacques Torres, he is a chocolatier. And he also, you know how I love food.
Yep.
So watching chocolate videos and then also doing research for French, oh, I was very happy.
2 birds, 1 stone.
And I actually had a specific question for Jeannie. In Kiss Him Not Me, you play Kaisa Yuma.
Yes.
And now, as we know, she's very passionate about
Boy love.
yes.
Yep.
Is it like is there something like that? Something you're very passionate about, like Kai is passionate about boys love?
I had not really watched any boys love anime or shows before, but watching the show, there were things that, like, she fangirls over it, and there are things that I fangirl over. I watch anime myself, so there were some things where I'm like, okay, I get that. It did change after the show. It's funny, like my roommate, her boyfriend, he lives with another voice actor that we know, and they have like a bromance. I'm always like, so when's this gonna happen? And my roommate's like, he's my boyfriend. I'm like, okay, incidental. When's this gonna happen?
Dirty shipper.
It's bad when you ship like your friends in real life.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
that's the line. But also, like, gosh, even watching Yuri on Ice, I got my ships. We all do. We got them. And just doing Kiss Him Not Me, I was able to unlock a certain passion. But then once the door is unlocked, you can't really lock the door back up. Don't judge me!
I'm not. I'm just sitting here.
It's hard to lock a door that's been unlocked.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Anyway, yes.
I'm so glad.
When did you two know you guys wanted to be voice actors?
I'm still waiting. No. When was your moment?
So like I said, I studied opera, and I always did music because there was nothing really else that I thought that I could do as well as music. I always easily excelled in music. I was in college, and it was my junior year of college. And guys, it's a little known fact, as competitive as acting is, opera is like 10,000 times worse. You have to live, breathe, eat, sleep Mozart, Bach, Wagner. You need to know all of it. And I realized, like, I don't really listen to opera on my downtime. That's not my cup of tea. So then I was like, okay, then what do you find yourself constantly going back to? Whenever I was stressed out, whenever I like had a rough day, anime, cartoons, Disney, like things that I grew up with, that is my happy place. And when I would watch those things, I could never just watch Sleeping Beauty. I would watch it and then I'd like try to recreate her voice. And always just repeating lines, and not just the singing, but also just the talking parts of it too. So I started looking it up, and I had a friend who was like, gosh, you always are throwing out crazy voices. I feel like you should be a telecom major instead of a music major. So I started looking it up, and then, yeah, I created my first demos. Before I even decided to do voice acting, I was like, let me record myself on my computer and listen back to it, see what I sound like, and see if it sounds listenable. So literally in my dorm, while my roommate was in class, I would record myself doing a monologue of Ariel or something from Little Mermaid, and then listen back to it and be like, does that sound legit? Like trying to be as subjective, objective? No, subjective. Objective, as I...
Art is subjective.
Yes, objective as I could. Like, if this wasn't my voice and I was just listening to it, would I want to listen to more of this? And you have to have a little degree of like, I think I can do the thing. So.
You were just in love with your voice. You're like, oh, I listen to me all day.
Well, when you're doing princess monologues, you tend to think it sounds princessy and oh, shut it. Okay, your turn.
I also practiced being a princess, and I was like, this is not for me.
Not surprised at all.
No, I really actually, I wanted to get into stage more. I started on stage, but I have bad social anxiety, and which is hilarious because now I have to do this. No one told me. But it became an issue. You know, I'd go out on stage from like behind, like backstage where it's really dark, and as soon as I step out on stage, there are just a bunch of people and a spotlight. And for those of you who know the spotlight effect that you feel just in general, having a literal spotlight on you makes it a million times worse. Oddly enough, though, my friend, a couple of my friends were like, "Hey, have you tried voice acting? Because you like cartoons, you know, have you heard about it?" And I'm like, I never really thought about that. You know, people behind the characters of cartoons and stuff. Oddly enough, this is really weird, but I'm a big Transformers fan, and my first show from the 90s was Beast Wars. So Scott McNeil, who's here this weekend, was sort of the moment for me of like, oh, you were 4 characters in that who usually argued a lot with each other, but that was just you. Huh. Maybe this is something I could get into. So I put my passion for cartoons and my passion for acting together, and it's somehow worked out. For now. But yeah, that was sort of my eureka moment, eureka moment.
Nice.
Who hasn't asked a question in the back? Yes.
What was your biggest impression, or how do you feel about the character Akira Yamamoto from Star Blazers?
Oh man,
Hey.
that was. I didn't grow up watching Star Blazers. I will say that. But when I first got in the booth, I didn't audition for anything. Jerry just told me like, you're going to be playing this character. I know that you can do it because I have for him voiced kind of those like kind of stoic but badass kind of women characters. With Myriad, my character was in that same vein. So they previewed it, and I was like, this is cool. This is like, it's the way I described it to him. I'm like, this show makes me nostalgic for a show that I never even watched. I don't know how to describe it.
But it has that classic feel.
Yeah, that like classic space opera. And then when I got to know my character more, I was like, she's really cool. She is really cool. Like she holds her own, and that makes me so happy when because it's a pretty male-heavy show. But then you see a girl that's like, no, I'm gonna be a pilot, and they're like, no, you can't. She goes, oh, watch me. I'm gonna steal a plane or a ship or whatever, and like actually pilot it and show you. and they couldn't deny her. I think that's so awesome, especially like that's inspiration because even though there's a lot of opportunity for women voice actors, a lot of times it still feels like that where it's like I want to do this. Okay, yeah, like pat on the head. It's like, okay, let me take this by the horns and show you that I can do it. I have to have, like, you have to have that mentality. So voicing her, I don't know how to describe it. It's like after our voice sessions with her, it builds me up.
It's
So I'm
empowering.
like, it's
Yeah.
so empowering. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a good character, good show.
Yeah, and you're in it. This one just announced that he's in it as well.
Yeah, he looks like Dr. B, but grown up. Like he went through puberty. Yeah,
Still in space.
still in space.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I have a follow-up question. Is there anything between Yamamoto and Nova? Anything?
I've gotten questions on that before. I could definitely see it, especially because they were on such different pages and then they come together. They like, it's like, not romance, but, yeah. There's a. Is it a little bit more than sisterhood?
There's a connection.
There's a connection.
She used the best way with Kodak at first.
Yes, which is definitely, and that's another thing I love about Star Blazers, guys. If you haven't seen the show, it's a big thing for me. I hate it when you're spoon-fed content. Like, this is what's happening, and this person has a thing for this person. Let's make it super obvious, or like, what's gonna be the answer?
They just beat you over the head with it.
Yes. Star Blazers is not like that. There's so much context or subtext. There's so much hidden underneath that a lot of times, like, we as voice actors don't even see it because our character might not voice it. But then when you watch the show later, they animated a scene where, like, they paused for a second and
Nice
gave an
quiet
extra
moment.
long look. Yeah, and there's so much said just in that. And Star Blazers is one of those shows where they take the time and the care. I feel like all the characters are so well fleshed out. So like you could definitely, she had like, there's something with her and Kodai. And I don't know if it's like an affinity because she looks up to him because, you know, or if there is something more. And then same with other characters. I love it.
It's a drama at its core. Just in space.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Go for it.
If
Take your
so,
time.
if you have a like a superhero ability, like flight, invisibility, teleportation, what would you choose?
What would your superhero ability be?
I'm immediately thinking of Myriad.
You'd sing people into submission?
Or would I take one of the other girls' powers? They were pretty out there.
There.
Your power was pretty cool, like being able to draw stuff.
That's true, and
then-
summon creatures, mythical creatures by drawing them. But that's a lot of
If I was
work.
a good artist, yeah.
That's a lot of work.
I don't think I'm that good.
If I had like a digital tablet where I could just control Z constantly.
I could just have a lot of stick figure monsters.
Oh my gosh, an army of stick figures. Just summoning them. Great.
Yeah. Personally, though, I know it's so cheesy, and maybe it's because I watched Kiki's Delivery Service so much. Just flying.
You just fly?
Just flying. I don't need any extra. If I can just fly.
You wouldn't have to go to the airport. You wouldn't have to pay for.
But I've thought about it. If you actually flew, though, it still took. Have you guys seen Kiki's Delivery Service? Like you saw when she's like, it still took her some time. She had to like fly through the rain and.
But you don't have to pay for it.
That's true.
Yeah, and you can actually carry like a full bottle of hairspray.
That's true.
You know.
You think a full bottle. I'm thinking you can have a full bottle of wine.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both hairspray and wine at the same time. Yeah.
Sold. All right. What about you?
My superpower would be being Batman. I would like to be Batman.
Being rich.
Yes.
Okay.
And Batman. Rich and Batman. Both. Yes. At the same time. Any other questions?
Jeannie,
Jeannie mentioned she'd like to fly. Since you mentioned Kiki, would you fly with or without a crew?
You don't need no broom.
But you saw how she like put her luggage like on the broom, like it's convenient. You have like a little luggage holder.
Broom.
But brooms are
You
classy.
could, you,
That's-
what if you had a
that's
car?
the-
What if you had a flying car?
She wants a flying car. Sure, flying car.
I'm just thinking of Harry Potter, and I'm like, this is dangerous. This is dangerous. Something will happen. Someone's angry with me. We'll get into a fight.
Or a bike
Road
where you
rage.
have like a little alien guy in the basket. It's fun.
Oh,
Fun.
that sounded familiar. Yeah.
It could be a mop. It doesn't have to be a broom.
Actually, not. I mean, if I could apparate, that'd be cool too. Oh man, now you're getting me on a Harry Potter kick, and you do not want to get me on a Harry Potter kick.
Any
that was
Harry
my
Potter
original
questions?
boy love. Draco Harry.
Don't say that. That sounds weird.
That's not that weird. Yeah.
No, you said it anyway.
Ironically enough, a week before this, I was watching Harry Potter.
Oh god. Scary. Oh boy.
Also, if any of you guys have random, but if you've ever read the book Fangirl, it's one of my favorite books in the world.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and she's a boy love, a lot like Kaiseri Numa. Boys love. She's a boys love.
Oh boy.
BL. There.
There you go.
She's a lot like Kaiseri Numa, and reading that book, it's one of my favorite books because I related to her so much.
Is your fan girl?
Oh, yes, through and through. I don't think you can honestly fall into anime if you aren't some kind of a fan, right? Do you know anybody who does voice acting that truly is not a fan of it? Really? Oh, I want to hear all the juicy gossip.
That's a later panel.
Now I'm trying to think of like all the people that I know who's not a fan.
We can talk about it.
All right.
Camera's not running.
Tangent. Sorry. All right.
Go for it.
Sorry, I have another Star Raiders question.
Why not?
Besides the characters that you play in Star Raiders, who's your favorite character in Star Raiders?
Yamamoto so much. She's like me. She's really cool, guys. Shinohara? He's got that cool guy vibe.
Okito's pretty badass.
There's a lot of good characters.
A lot of good characters in that. Who's yours?
Vesna.
Really?
That man oozes charisma.
Yeah, he's a little disgusting when he uses it, doesn't he?
Probably one of the greatest
he
guys ever.
he's a classic villain, isn't he?
He is
And very classy as well.
very classic.
Should have shot him while I had the chance. Good choice. Good choice. Any other questions?
Or,
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, in the back.
So I've seen a lot of different panels on YouTube with other voice actors answering this question.
Uh-oh.
It's how does someone get into voice acting? A lot of people answer with just do it, but I know a lot of times life isn't that easy. So down to the nitty gritty, what can someone do to get into voice acting?
You can start.
I would say it's much like any kind of acting. There's no real one path, and that's what makes it so difficult. We've all gotten into it in different ways. Thankfully, one of the comforting things for me when I started thinking about voice acting was looking up other voice actors who did have a music degree. Because I wasn't going to give up I was a junior when I realized I wanted to do it, so I'm like, I'm not going to leave my music degree. I do want to finish out my degree. But then, is there anybody else who's done voice acting who does? And like Brina Palencia, I grabbed onto her because her degree is in voice as well as in music. And there were other people that I was like, okay, they've done the thing. But it's all different paths. For me, there's a lot of people that like, my roommates, I just moved out, but I was living with Sarah Wiedenheft and Natalie Hoover, who are voice actors as well. We all got into it very, very, very differently. Whereas Sarah, she was living in Texas. sent in and had never had any training whatsoever. Just sent in a demo to Funimation, and if you've heard her talk, like her natural speaking voice is pretty unique. Amit like got called in and started doing work. Natalie, she moved, when I met her, she had moved to Texas from LA, so she had been doing some voice stuff out in LA. For me, so all different backgrounds. For me, I had always thought, okay, if I want to do voice acting, I need to have an agent. But to get an agent, you need to have, it's a little bit harder. You have to have formal training, you have to have a legit demo, and then you have to meet with them. So I actually came from it having done commercial work. My first voiceovers were doing like, I do AT&T commercials, I do Pepsi, so even though anime is a part of voice acting that I do, there's a lot of other things that I do, and it just turned out Dallas has a really good voice market, not just for anime, because Funimation is there, but also it's, because it's such a, there's a lot of space in Dallas, a lot of headquarters are in Dallas, so like Mary Kay and like I said, Pepsi, like there's a bunch of corporations that are headquartered out there, so they will do a lot of commercial work out there. And I, from my agent, would get commercial work, but then also some animation work, and that's how I got into it. Yeah, what about you?
It's tricky because the industry changes a lot, and which is why a lot of people narrow it down to, if you want to get into this industry, you have to be active as an actor. That is the only way you make connections, because a part of art, it's not like we can go up to a studio and interview to be an actor. That's not how it works. You have to know people, you know. The only reason why I knew about auditioning for Funimation is because other people they had their finger on the pulse. So they were my connection. It is, to me, I think that the most valuable thing is that you need to have experience. If you think of it in terms of just as any other job, be an expert in your field, have a lot of knowledge. Directors are only going to hire people who know their craft. They're not going to take risks on people who don't really know anything. And they don't have time to train anyone. So get as much acting experience as possible, hone your tool, which is going to be your voice, and make as many friends and connections within the industry. That's really the core of how you get forward. You need to know people, you need to, for lack of a better way of saying it, you need to be talented. You know, if, for example, for people who want to be voice actors who say, I want to be a voice actor, I want to audition, you also have to remember there are a bunch of us. The people that you meet at conventions, the guests, the voice actor guests, you'll most likely be auditioning against us. And so if your technique is not up to par with like J. Michael Tatum or Brina Palencia, Jeannie Tirado, you know, you need to be good at what you do. You need to know that this is for you. So be prepared, be informed when you go into it, and take it seriously like an actual job. This is how we pay our bills. So if that makes any sense, if that.
And a lot of times if they say like, take acting classes, and like, I hate taking classes and all that stuff, even like, you'll get the chops taking acting classes, but also the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain confidence of, I know that I've studied this. I know that I know how to, if I have a script, I know how to break down, do character breakdown and scene study.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you confidence, so when you walk into the booth, you're not like, I have my voice and nothing else. It's like, no, I have my voice and all this behind me.
I will say, this is just my opinion. It's not fact, but I don't recommend taking voice acting classes.
No.
Because for the most part, people are looking for acting. Doing community theater is your best entry into the world of acting, because you learn basics of how to follow direction, how to break apart a script, how to respond to people, you know, how to interact with your cast. And these are lessons that you will not learn if you're just isolated in a booth by yourself. You need that community aspect, that cast aspect, to even understand the basics of acting. So start with community theater, maybe even branch out to doing radio commercials to get accustomed to your voice. But it really just starts at the bare entry level of acting experience and connections.
And if you don't, I know acting classes are super expensive. If you don't have the money for that, you can even go to your local library and rent books on acting techniques.
Mm-hmm.
I studied the Chubbuck method, Chubbick. Meisner is a really good method. And these are, if you just just read up on it, so when you get a script, you can really quickly, even in a cold read, break down what type of character, what archetype, and what is the relationship between them and who they're speaking to.
Cold reading is also very important.
Yes.
A lot of what we do is just going into the booth, not even looking at the script ahead of time, and just having to pretend like we know what we're saying.
Even before, during, and after you book the role, throughout the entire process.
Yep.
It's all cool.
So yeah, lots of other things too, but for the time being, that's the basics. Yes, in the back. You, yes sir.
Was there ever a voice actor that you got the chance to meet that you kind of freaked out or been overly
Like fanned over?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, don't tell him I said this. I'm a huge Soul Eater fan. And I had watched it before I went. And I will still to this day, oh my God, I've never told him. I don't think I've ever told you this story. It was the first or second time I walked into Funimation and I accidentally hit you. Because there's a corner, the way you walk in, oh my gosh. And also I'm clumsy.
Like that?
Yes. There's a corner at the front desk and then the bathroom is like back here and then the studios are this way. Oh God, this is so embarrassing. I'm never gonna live this down. Okay. So when you walk in, there's like a lobby, bathroom is this way, and studios are this way. He was coming out of a session, so he was going this way. I was going to the bathroom, so I was going this way. Ran smack dab into you, and you just said, very polite, he was like, oh, excuse me. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then go to the bathroom, close the door. Oh my God! Like shaking, it was like, that's his voice! And I didn't know that the voice that you use is like, it's like close to your regular speaking voice.
See, I told you guys.
So when you said excuse me, it was the voice.
Oh, you guys talking now?
I know.
Yeah, watch out
How
now.
far we've come from that.
I know.
We?
Oh.
Oh boy.
All right, what about you? You have to say your fangirl story. Say
So I was walking and I turned the corner and
so much.
I was just like, oh, sorry. Normally I would just hit the person, but I was so caught off guard. And so when I turned the corner,
I am finding your address and murdering you in your sleep.
I'm going to be here at Metrocon for the next 4 days. So,
That's true.
yeah.
Just need to find a room number.
I'll be staying in the garbage can right outside. Pick me up anytime. I could use so much money. I did freak out a bit when I met Laura Bailey for the first time. I was scheduled for a Soul Eater session, and when I came into the studio, I saw that my name and her name was for the same time slot. I was like, that looks like it was a mistake, but whatever. So I opened the door, and I see her talking with Zach, and I went, oh! And I shut the door. And I was like, what is she doing in there? Why is she still here? This is my set. What is, Open the door again. Hey, how's it going? Turns out we had to do a commentary that day, and I was like, oh, that makes more sense. Why didn't anyone tell me so I could just prepare myself psychologically? Because she's so good. She's so talented. But yeah, that was sort of a moment for me. See, I didn't even get the excuse to like run into a bathroom and be like, oh my God.
You had to be cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, that didn't work out. As cool, like maybe as like sweaty as a pickle or something like that. Yeah.
All right, I think we have time for one more question.
Do you want to do a lightning round?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, this is how it's going to work. Ask us easy to answer questions like what's your favorite color, what's your favorite food, what's your favorite, actually that might be difficult. But easy to answer questions, and we won't answer necessarily with the truth, just the first thing that comes to our minds. And if we yell at you, it's nothing personal, we just panic under pressure, at least I do. Cool? You're allowed to ask multiple questions. Panel's over when we run out of questions or we run out of time. You guys cool with that?
Cool.
Awesome. All right. If you have questions, keep your hands up. We're just going to go as fast as we can. Cool. Ready, go.
I got a simple yes or no one. I'm told there's a Dragon Ball FighterZ tournament this weekend at Metrocon. Would either of you like to take part?
No.
Yes.
Go.
What was your favorite moment playing Yamamoto in Star Wars?
Favorite moment?
Yeah, what was your favorite?
3 words or less.
Fight scenes.
Okay.
Go.
Your favorite animal?
Favorite animal? Panda.
Cat.
Go.
Favorite video game and favorite video game character?
Favorite video game and favorite character. Breath of the Wild, Link.
Kingdom Hearts. Sora.
Hey, go.
What are you gonna eat for lunch?
What am I gonna eat for lunch? Food.
Food.
Or your dreams.
They got me a chocolate cake for my birthday. I've already torn into it and I didn't finish it.
Go.
Favorite Japanese TV show.
Favorite Japanese TV show. A cooking show called Dochi.
Don't you?
Oh, Iron Chef.
Iron Chef? Hey, there you go. Go.
Ultraman.
Favorite Dragon Ball Z character?
Zeno. Sarah with.
Mine. Go.
What's your favorite anime to watch?
Favorite anime to watch.
Eureka 7.
Noragami. Are we done? Go.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Favorite ice cream flavor.
I'm thinking of katana made in soda chocolate chip. No, dark chocolate. You get it, you get it. Dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate?
Yes.
Kona coffee and chocolate chips.
Yes.
Go. Favorite superhero.
Rogue.
Oh, Red Robin. Go.
Say a voice line from anything, like say it in your voice from anything. Quick. On top of your head. You go first, I
Sick beats.
Sick beats.
3.
Candy, I want candy!
Hey! All right. Is it it? Go.
He wants to know the inspiration for some of your voices. How do you guys come up with the different voices that you use? They tell you what type of voice to use, or how do you come up with some of those inspirations?
It has to be in the realm of possibility as far as the character. It can be completely out of left field, but also I will watch a lot of YouTube videos and then find crazy personalities and try to recreate it.
Insanity. Any other questions? No. Go.
Favorite alcohol?
Favorite alcohol? Cooking.
Okay.
Red wine.
Hey! Any other questions? Last question? Go.
Yes.
Make it a good one.
Location you visited?
Sorry? Favorite location we visited?
You visited?
Oh, I'm such a sucker. I just moved to LA and I love it. LA.
Hawaii. Yeah. Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.